about a year ago, there'll be some pictures that flash up. A friend of mine bought a camp out here in the Chapelai Basin, and what was next door was looked abandoned. We contacted the owner. The owner assured me he didn't want to get rid of it. He paid me to tear it down. Again, these are pictures of it coming down, of different stages. And what we found was half of it was rotten, but the other half was actually old cypress. Being built like a tank. Called the guy. I pled with him. I said, please, you can repair this structure. He said no. He wanted it all torn down. He paid me in full, and I tend to do what I'm paid for, so I tore the building down. About a year later, I'm working on another project in Lafayette, Louisiana, and I get a call, and it's the man who owns this camp, and he says that he's really interested in another camp, and well, how can I help you, sir? Is there anything I could do to help? Because I like to be hospitable, and he told me that he didn't want this land and the camp anymore. He asked me if I'd be interested in it, and I said, well, I'm definitely interested in it, but I don't have the extra funds for a camp, in the basin. And well, he ended up, I'm one to say nothing comes free, but he told me that the lease was paid till December, and that he would transfer the state lease into my name. And what was left after the teardown was obviously this deck. He wanted to keep it and repair it somewhat. Again, he never did. And so now I'm the new leaser of Turtle Point. We've renamed it. I don't think it was ever named Turtle Point. But if you Google it, you put in the coordinates, somebody took a picture, and it's a little turtle. So I named it. When I sent it to my mother, she says, ooh, that's so nice. Who took that picture of that turtle? And I said, well, I don't know. And I used to have an old dog. She was a real good dog. And so we named her name was Turtle. And so I figured in her honor, I would name it Turtle Point. And anyway, this is the chimney lighting ceremony. Just me and Solo out here. Come here, Solo. Hey, buddy. And say hello to the camera. This is Solo. He's my best friend. He's not the only friend out here in the basin. We have, like I said, my buddy's camp is next door. Sometimes you'll see me videotaping from there. The intro was done on his front porch, and we may change that eventually. Everything changes, but this is kind of like my fireside interview, right? So this is what we started out with. Even though I'm the guy who deconstructed it, a little history on this cypress. In the early turn of the 20th century, there's actually a lumber mill out here, and humans, as we do, decided we were going to cut down all the ancient cypress and build homes up and around the river. There's the mosquitoes whispering in my ear. And so all this lumber was milled out of probably 1,000-year-old, maybe even 2,000-year-old cypress. It was all locally milled here in the swamp. There was a town called the Bayou Chene, and there's a little documentary of the little church that my great-grandfather used to minister in from time to time. He's got the documentary, and it's posted on the channel. And guys, if you haven't already, I'm going to do what everybody else does and say, please subscribe, because it's with subscriptions that we're going to keep doing videos. The more subscribers we have, the more viewers we have, the more videos we're going to do, the more adventures we're going to have. And I'm sure at some point in time there'll be a Patreon account. So those of you who like to donate to Turtle Point Adventures will be able to do that. And because we sure need it. Like I said, I don't, in my profession, I'm a carpenter, remodeler, and I'm a small time guy, so I don't make a whole lot of money. I mostly do small renovations and small handyman repair, but like I said, most of my focus is here now. And because this is a 12-year lease, it's a 15-year lease. We're 3 years into a 15-year lease, transferred to me by the original leaser through the state, and this is a camp lease. We're allowed to put buildings here. All buildings have to be portable, as you can see. And if you've been out here, you can see that. How are these houses portable? Well, it's all a loose term, according to the state. But here at Turtle Point, my goal is to make most everything floatable and portable. And that way, if the state ever tells us we need to exit, everything can be floated. I think I've been the leaser here for about 3 weeks now. I came out weekend before last and last weekend, and we did a little bit of work on my friend's camp, and I came here and I pulled some nails out of the decking. Right now, this is where I'll set up my tent in a few weekends and probably spend a little more time out here than what we're doing today. And anyway, we got to pull a bunch of nails. All the cypress is all full of nails. People have added on flooring to it, and that flooring has been eaten away by termites. And what's nice is the termites left us all this ancient cypress, so we have a lot of history here. And the studs that actually came from the cypress building, I collected them all, and they're all in a storage shed. I figured I would resell them or build some tables out of them, and resell them and make some money. But as we all know, life changes, and God puts us in different places. And God put it in this man's heart to transfer this lease over to us. And with that, God's allowing me to do something that I enjoy doing, which is kind of living off the land, fishing and hunting and loving every day. I think that's a Luke Bryan song, and I like to build stuff. So it's a perfect opportunity for me. I'm 42 years old. I'm not getting any younger, and it'd be nice if in 10 years I could build something that was somewhat sustainable. And my wish is for in 12 years for the state to come and renew my lease so that I can stay another 15 years here. And if I can stay another 15 years here, I won't really need another place to go. Maybe the old folks home. So we've got 12 years of good content for everybody, and this is the. I want to welcome y'all. Obviously, this is the chimney lighting ceremony. I brought this chimney out, a nice donation to Turtle Point, and it's not very cold out, but we're in the first week of September, and it's still hot, and mosquitoes are still out, and everything else. But I felt it was ceremonious to light up the chimney. And today is September 11th. Uh, the year's 2022, and it's been over 20 years since September 11th. You know, since the World Trade Centers were attacked, or a lot of people have a lot of different theories on what happened that day, and I wasn't there. Where I was just out of boot camp, and I was at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Um, I was a Black Hawk crew chief. I had made it into a flight company, and that day happened to be a motor pool day. And what that means is everybody shows up, and we go work on the trucks, and we make sure that air in the tires are good, and we start them, and we run them, and we make sure the lights are working, and just operational maintenance type things. We check the oil and air filters, and just regular maintenance. And it happened to be that our company commander was also there with us that day, and Sergeant Major had done a big. He was also there that morning, and all of us oblivious, to what was going to happen in the next moments. You all of a sudden, the Sergeant Major called a formation. Um, every enlisted soldier had to be in formation right then and there. And so you have to, no matter what your company commander says, he was, you don't need to go to that. We're doing the maintenance on the vehicles. So that's for Charlie Company. He said every enlisted, well, go, so I went, and in front of the motor pool, that's when we were informed that something had happened to the towers, and the base was locked down. We weren't allowed to leave. Again, this is at Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Home of the 101st. I was a 101st Airborne, and of course I was a Black Hawk crew chief. Anyway, I don't remember much more about that day, and everything seems a blur. I remember it was a while before we deployed, almost a year or two before we deployed. The 101st Airborne did to Iraq, and that's kind of my September 11th story. Um, I don't want to bore you with my whole uh, campaign experience or anything like that. Um, I do have to say it was an honor serving with the Lancers. It was an honor serving as a member of the 101st Airborne. It was an honor being a part of the American Army, and though that was not my career choice, and I never did stay in any particular career throughout the years, there was a big it's a big part of my life. It was an honor. Probably some of the greatest things I ever did as a human being was with Bravo Company Lancers, and I just want to say thank you guys for watching. And like I said, there's going to be a lot more adventures. This wasn't the most exciting startup, but the start of every journey always begins with the first step, and so here at Turtle Point Adventures, we're making that first step in adventure and self sustainability and water sports, water fun, hunting and fishing, and and thanking the Lord every day for what He's given us and what He's blessed us with. And I just want to end this video with a prayer, and I'm gonna just I'm gonna bow my head. I'm gonna pray to the Lord, and I'm gonna say, "Dear Lord, thank you for all these blessings that you've given us, and I want you to take into account that we love you, Lord, and we're here to do your work. We're here to create and build. We're not here to destroy. Uh, we want to grow a beautiful forest full of food, and we want to be able to give our animals a good life, and in turn for them to give us nutrients. We want all those watching to know your name, and if they feel inclined to, please let them find you and pray to you and talk to you, Lord, for you are the only salvation in this life. Amen.